Hey everyone, it's Kaitlin. Welcome back to another journaling video. Today's video is going to be an updated planner / analog system chat because, as you can see, a lot of things have changed, and I thought today I would just kind of talk you through the current journals that I'm using right now, and also touch on why I stopped using the journal that you probably saw before this video, which would be the Hobonichi cousin. So maybe I should just get that out of the way and then we can get into the exciting stuff, which is the new journals, the new system, and all of that interesting stuff. So the Hobonichi cousin. I imagine a couple of you are probably surprised that I'm saying that I've stopped using the Hobonichi cousin, because the last time I spoke about it, I was saying how it was working so well for me. I was having no issues with it. It was really great. It was a really good system for me. And essentially what happened was in October, around the first week, I got sick. And it was just a cold, so it wasn't anything super serious, but definitely, enough of an illness where, you're not really journaling, you're not planning, you're not really doing much either, because you're just kind of recovering and working and then recovering. And that cold lasted me the majority of October. I think in total, I was sick for about 3 weeks, and nothing super serious again, but just having a lingering cold for 3 weeks doesn't really put you in a place where you want to do very much. So with the Hobonichi cousin, around, I think it was the 6th of October, I'd stopped and fallen behind on writing out my daily pages because I wasn't really feeling well. So, having to put in the energy to do that upkeep of a daily page every day, writing in the weekly and writing in the monthly it was too much. And essentially while I was sick, I completely stopped writing in my Hobonichi cousin. And then for some reason, having a cold kind of allowed me to, reset my priorities or really think critically about what I wanted. And I realized that, getting sick, getting colds is very normal part of the human experience. And as much as I loved the structure of the cousin, I realized that it was something that I just didn't really want to put that level of energy into maintaining the weekly, the daily pages, the monthly pages. It was just a lot. And while I was sick, I was also having a lot of thoughts around how I like to look back on my journals, how I like to reference my archive. And I realized that for me, I don't really like to read a whole lot if I don't have to. Oftentimes when I'm flipping through old journals, and when I was flipping through old journals while I was sick, I noticed that I tend to just look at the photos and the tickets, and then if something like that is interesting, then I'll go back and read the passage. But oftentimes I'm not usually reading. And the cousin is a lot of writing. So it's a lot of reading when you're going back and flipping through it. And I kind of realized, I was like, you know what? Maybe I want to stick with the cousin. Is it worth the effort? Is it going to be something I'm going to enjoy looking back on? And I think I just realized that I don't think I would want to go back and read all of the stuff that I'd written. There was a lot of volume of writing in the cousin that I did. I would write about the day, then write about the week, then write about the month, right? There's a lot of details there, and I just realized that for me, I didn't think that it was something where I wanted to put in that level of energy that I was putting for the output that I was getting and for the archive that I probably wouldn't look back on too much, because it was a lot of writing. So absolutely, of course, I do want to say, you could have adjusted, written less in the cousin, but honestly, I think I just like was really feeling like having something with less structure. And also I was finding in that time that I was really missing having a kind of dedicated place to plan and organize my life, specifically my work. In the cousin, there is a weekly page, but one of the things that I've always found has really helped my productivity is having a kind of weekly master task list that's usually in the style of the Alistair method. So essentially having a column for each day of the week where I can, in advance, during the week, before the week, schedule in my tasks so that I have a bit of structure in the week and I can very easily see what things I have to do and when I'm planning to do them. And I was just finding that that missing piece was kind of lagging, and I had thought about maybe getting a weeks for planning and then just journaling in the cousin, and then it just felt like too much to have to maintain both of those things, because the cousin is just the way I like to journal in it. It's a lot of work, so it's very hard to maintain anything else outside of it. So I decided to take a pause on the cousin and try something else, something a bit less structured, something where I could come in and write when I felt like it, and something where I could have that weekly to-do list in that structure when I needed it. And the stack here is what you see. So all of these things I already, well, actually no, that's not true. Most of these things I already owned. So a lot of it was just kind of repurposing the journals that I had, maybe ordering a Traveler's Company insert, which is, $5 to $10, so not a super high barrier, but I really didn't want to be just like purchasing another planner system. I wanted to try to kind of figure something out that I already owned and think really critically about what I wanted. And also I wanted to try to think of a system that would be easier to archive. At this point, I have a lot of notebooks because I previously bullet journaled, and I realized that notebooks take up a lot of space. So if I want to use a system that I can archive and easily look back on, I want to try to find something that's a little more compact and can be stored a bit more easily. And that's kind of how I kind of came around to using my traveler's notebooks again, which you can see here. So that's kind of a couple thoughts on why I didn't want to continue using the cousin. I might go back to the cousin, you never know, but I am really liking this right now, and I'll just take you through how I'm using each of these journals so you can see what's going on in the Kaitlin Grey journaling world right now. So we have 4 notebooks in total. We have a passport traveler's notebook, a field notes, a hobonichi weeks, and a standard or regular, I'm not sure. Which is it, standard or regular? I have no idea. Traveler's notebook. So why don't we just go ahead and maybe start with the weeks? I think that makes sense. Yeah, we'll start with the weeks. So this is my hobonichi weeks. This is the 2024 Tomataro Makino week, so it doesn't actually start until I think like the last week of November, which goes into December. Yeah, so it starts on the 27th of November, and I'm not going to go in depth through this planner because there's a lot of really great unboxings and overviews on it, but this is essentially what I'm planning to use as my planner for next year. So part of the system, you'll see I did separate the journaling and the planning, which I'd previously had all together in my cousin. And part of this is just because I really wanted a better view of my task list, but also of my schedule. And because I wanted to mainly focus on using this for planning, I thought that the weeks would be really good for that because it's very portable. It's a good amount of room for how much planning I need to do. And I also really liked that with the like cloth cover weeks like this one, you can put a clear cover on it, which makes it really portable. And something that I wouldn't be like nervous bringing on the go or bringing into the office. So I also thought it was very practical in that sense. Before I picked up this notebook, I actually thought about it for, I think around the 3 weeks I was sick. I was debating picking up the hobonichi weeks, but I was very like rigid about really thinking through the decision before I ordered it. But after a while, I finally decided to pick it up because I did really want a little bit more of structure and kind of more focus on planning in my life. So I picked this up from Wonder Pens because I didn't really want to order a single planner from Hobonichi and pay the shipping to Canada. So it made more sense financially to get it through Wonder Pens. And then I just picked up the clear cover, and I just have my kind of standard pen in the pen loop here, which is a Zebra Sarasa brown gray, and I just have it in a Uniball one. I think this is like the olive body, which is maybe limited edition, but they have like a really nice beige one out as of this video, so they have a lot of other really nice colors too. But yeah, this is gonna kind of be my planner. My plan for this, the plan for the planner is I'm going to use these front pages, which are the yearly index, as a weather tracker. So I'm going to write down the weather each day along with the type of weather there was, whether there was like rain or snow, cloudy, etc., etc. Because I thought that would be a cool way to use this, and I always like to track the weather. And then the monthly page will be for habit tracking, dates and appointments, priorities, and then the weeklies will be for kind of dates on the left, and then a running weekly task list on the right. And that's really all there is. It's very, very simple. That is kind of the intention and the plan behind this. I really just want a very kind of focused place where I can see what's going on, what do I have coming up, and what do I need to do. So that is the plan for this. And because this doesn't start until November, I have been using a, let me grab it for you, a Hobonichi, just like supplementary notebook, and I'll probably have to blur a lot of this, so I apologize, but here we are. I just drew out the paper size of the Hobonichi weeks, and I just used it kind of in the way that I would use the task list in the weeks until I can actually use the pages in the weeks. So that is how I'm kind of testing it out right now, and it's working really, really well. So I am excited to start using this at the end of November. So I think I'll go over this next, and then I'll go over the traveler's notebooks. So they're kind of all together, but this is my field notes notebook. This has been around since August of this year. It's just a simple grid notebook that looks like this. And how I'm using this is just for kind of like rough notes, but generally I would say like of the rough notes, it's mainly for like really random like ideas and thoughts that I just want to kind of jot down, but may or may not be anything valuable that I want to reference later. I'll see if I have anything can I show you any of them? Okay, I could show you this. So here I wrote on a page about my Hobonichi week setup. So this is kind of me just dumping out my thoughts on the system that I think I want to use. So that's an example of how I use this. It's literally just like a notebook that I want to use for random thoughts, ideas, just things that enter my mind that I want to hang on to that will inevitably leave my mind if I don't write them down somewhere. So yeah, very similar approach to the way I was using it before, which is literally just for like random notes, substitute to my iPhone. Still kind of the approach I'm taking. But let's say I was like taking notes on a meeting that I was in. I probably now use my weeks for that just because it's my planner, but this is a great spot where I just kind of jot down random ideas. So not really like a super fancy notebook, but very valuable in my analog system. And yeah, these notebooks are just like super simple, but they get the job done. So next up we have the Traveler's Notebooks, and I am so excited. I am so happy to be able to use my Traveler's Notebooks again. Of all my planners, these are the only ones where I've bought one cover for each size, and I just love them so much that I haven't bought another cover yet, although the olive is very tempting, but I really just love the simplicity and utilitarianism of the Traveler's Notebooks. And yeah, I'm using these in different ways, but mostly it's kind of for like journaling, and it's been really good. I've been in here for probably around 2 weeks now. That's kind of when I made the shift in my system because I wanted to test it out and see if it would work, and I'm really liking being in my Traveler's Notebooks again. I love the smaller inserts. I love how easy it is to write in the inserts. When I write in them, I just take them out of my notebook because I don't like to bother with dealing with that, and mostly I journal at home, so that makes sense for me. And also I just love how I can very easily switch out and archive my inserts. So yeah, very excited to be in these. The right hand one, this is the Camel Passport Traveler's Notebook. I have a charm on it from Baumkuchen. This is my daily journal. So I'll just kind of open it and you can see the setup, if you want to call it that. So for both my Traveler's Notebooks, I like to keep it very simple in terms of the inserts. So I only keep one insert in each of the books, just because I don't like to bother with jump bands, to be completely honest. So in this notebook, I have a clear zipper case on the front, a wallet, and then the insert. So for both my inserts, I'm using the grid inserts by Traveler's Company. In Passport, it has this green cover, but in Standard, it has like a brown cover. I wish the brown cover was also in the Passport, but when I archive this, I'll probably just honestly remove the cover because yeah, I'm not a big fan of this green, but that's okay. We persevere through it. But inside the journal, it's very simple, and you'll kind of see that theme. Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm taking 1 page per day, and I'm just writing about my day. I thought it would be useful to mark each month with a tab, just so that I could kind of provide some structure to the journal. I'm using the tabs from the this sticker kit here, which is the 2023 sticker set. I know a lot of people like the decorative stickers on the front. I do too, but I usually buy these for the tabs because they're really helpful. So that's the tab that I'm using here. And I do a page per day. I don't fill up the entire space, and the nice thing about this is you'll see as I flip through, this is Saturday, and then the next entry is Monday. So I've stopped journaling every single day, which has been really nice. I don't know. I think I just realized that not every day I want nor need to journal about what happened. I just want to journal when I feel like it, when I feel like there's a memory or a moment I want to capture, and sometimes there's one of those every day and sometimes there's not, and I've decided that's okay. So yeah, I just kind of do a page a day. I underline the date just so that it stands out, but really that's all there is. It's very simple. It's laughably simple, I would say. And then I just have a pencil board in here just to help with the writing experience. One thing I will mention quickly is in the back pocket here, I do have, here they are, I do have a couple photos, which I printed these using my Canon selfie photo printer, the CP1500, I think. I'm planning to put these photos and attach them to the images, or sorry, to the dates, the journal entries they're corresponding to after I finish the notebook. The reason I'm doing this is because I attach them with paper clips, and that makes the writing experience a little bumpy. So what I've done is I've just kind of stored them in this pocket, and I think what I'll do, actually, I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna put like a sticky note on the back with the date the photo corresponds to, so that I'll remember where the photo should go in the insert. And because these inserts are only 64 pages, I think this will only last about 3 months. So I think it'll be kind of a fun activity to like finish the insert, put in all the photos, kind of revisit the memories, and then archive it. And yeah, I don't know. I really love that idea of being able to kind of finish these little books, but then archive them in a binder together and have like little binders for every year. I don't know. It just, it's very exciting for me. So yeah, that's the daily journal in the Passport Traveler's Notebook. Really been liking this so far. And that's kind of the setup that I have going on in here. Now, the standard Traveler's Notebook, this is also the camel. I have a very strong love of the camel Traveler's Notebook. But actually, this is fun fact, this one is almost a year old now. I got this in December of 2022. This guy, I think, is almost 3 years old. It's 2 or 3 years old. I got this a couple years back, so this has been like the first Traveler's Notebook I ever got. I really love it. The charm is new, but the notebook itself is fairly aged, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the back is aged really nicely. And then the front, I feel like this area hasn't got a lot of wear because I don't touch it. But I always show this. This is why I love the Traveler's Notebooks. If you see here, I'm gonna show you. I don't know if you can see. Actually, you can't really see, but aha, there you go. Do you see that little mark? That's where my dog sneezed on my journal. And when I tell you I had like a little mini freak out, I really did, but that's kind of why I love the Traveler's Notebooks. They can actually take a lot of wear and, well, abuse, and they still just have a really beautiful lived in look and feel, which is great. But tangent aside, I'm using this as my commonplace book, commonplace journal. I'm not sure if that's the right way to use or describe a commonplace book, but I'll show you the pages and you can kind of hopefully see what I'm using this for. So just like my passport, I have one insert in here, which is the grid insert by Travelers Company. And I'm using a wallet around this insert. This is the Superior Labor wallet from Baumkuchen as well. This is in, I think it's the sand color. And this is the grid insert by Travelers Company. So I'm using this as a commonplace book, which to me means storing information, photos, ephemera, just kind of extra bits either that I want to journal about in addition to my day, or are interesting pieces of information, interesting things I come across and collect. And yeah, it's just kind of a journal where I write down pieces of information, thoughts, memories, all that stuff. So we have like a leaf here that I found because it's fall here in Canada, so I just kind of tape that in my journal. I separate entries by using a pencil line so that it has a bit of structure, but besides that, it's pretty freeform. And I've been printing out any like quotes or proverbs. This is a proverb with my printer, just so I don't have to rewrite it, which has been really nice. I got this idea from Megan Rhiannon. So here we have, what do I have here? So this entry is about commonplacing on a video that I saw from Park Notes. I really like that. I have a list of Halloween movies I want to watch. This is a blurb from Travelers Town this year for the Travelers Company theme. I really liked what they said, so I just wrote it down on my notebook. And then the next pages I haven't done yet. I have a type chart I made myself for Pokemon, because I always like to reference that. Some printouts from Pokemon Scarlet, my pencil board, and then I usually just kind of throw some things in the back here as well that I want to paste in. So oftentimes I'll just like cut things out, and then when I get time or when I want to sit down and journal, I'll go ahead and add them, which is just really nice. I like the kind of flexibility and kind of relaxed nature of this notebook and this practice. So yeah, that's kind of a look at the Commonplace book. And yeah, that's kind of an overview of the different journals I'm using. I'll give you an update on how it's going maybe a little bit later, let you know if I'm still using these, but this is what I'm using right now. Let me know below what you're using. I'm thinking this will carry into 2024, at least I hope I will, but at least I hope it will, but let me know what you're gonna use for next year. And yeah, besides that, thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.